Ra-ta-ta-ta-da-da, ya-da-da.
Oh, is that your Hooray for Hollywood?
Yeah, it was that.
Hooray
that
for Hollywood.
Yes, oh my God, it's Oscar season, Rick.
It is. It's the time of year that everybody puts aside their differences.
Yeah.
They hug
Ukraine,
their neighbors.
Russia will be having the
we all sit on the
Palestinians,
couch
the Israelis,
together.
yes.
We watch this show, and for you and I, it means one thing mainly. It means we call up Eric Litt and we get his Oscar picks, and he's on the line, so we'll be talking to him momentarily.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie show on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is the Minutia Men Celebrity Interview with Rick and Dave.
Fifth time, Dave. This is his fifth time on the show.
He's probably the most ever, right?
Well, he is. He's our top-rated guest ever. He gets the blazer, the 5-time club blazer.
The key to the 5-time bathroom.
Yeah. Are you excited, Eric?
Oh my God, I feel like Alec Baldwin and Steve Martin and Martin Short. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the 5-timers room looks like.
Well,
and how big the guest bathroom is, and is the minibar stocked?
Well, you're the first one in there, so you'll have to let us know.
Right. And usually the 5th time is when the critics start panning you.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
Be careful that.
Used up all your good material in the previous 4.
Right. Don't be a Tom Hanks and just start saying jokes again, the MAGA jokes again. Well, Eric, an author, worth a second look, and also Oscar's Biggest Mistakes. What say you? What is your overall feeling of the Oscars Now, we're going to get into each category, but are you excited about this? What's your feeling? Let's get
I am excited. I'm always excited about the Oscars. This is my Super Bowl. And I think what's exciting this year is that in the main categories, it's really up for grabs. It's really up for grabs. And 3 of the real big ones, Best Picture, Actor, and Actress, could go in a lot of different directions. It's really only the supporting that are really wrapped up. And so it could be a lot of fun, and I'm excited that Conan O'Brien is hosting for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, I like Conan, so that could be a lot of fun as well. You just never know what you're going to get from him sometimes, and I don't know if Andy Richter will be there as well. But is it going to be kind of like Letterman when he did it in '94 when it was, or '95 when it was. Basically his late night talk show incorporated into the programming, but I think Conan will bring something different to the show, and I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So talk us through quickly. What do you do? When do you start watching this stuff? Are you watching it at 3 p.m? Are you a red carpet person? Are you going to have an Oscar spread? Is it just you and your dog in the living room, or what's your prep? Your pre-show prep?
Well, I don't start. I don't like they don't like unlike the Super Bowl, they don't really have a whole like all day thing. So there really isn't a whole lot of pre-show stuff. I don't particularly like the ET coverage because I just think it's all the same nonsense. So I'll start the show with
Wait a minute. How else are we going to find out what they're wearing?
Right.
Well, Channel 7 does a pre-show thing. It's a half hour prior, and it's just it's perfectly fine. So I really start like about 5:30 ahead, and then a half hour show I usually start with the half hour red carpet leading up to it, and then I just watch the show in my living room, and then I've got all my spreadsheets, and because I'm usually in 1 or 2 pools, and I'm keeping track of everything, and then I'm writing down notes because I blog about the show the next day on social media, and my wife is usually grading papers or doing schoolwork at the table next to me, and then my dog is sitting. And my kids don't care, but my daughter is home this year, but she may watch it. And that's primarily it. And I try and don't answer the phone for 3.5 hours.
Okay.
So it's fun.
Yeah.
All right. So this year we've established, this is going to be a tough one for you to pick them. You've been on you've picked the Oscars before. One time you got them exactly right.
You're at a 91.6%.
Yeah, I mean your odds are pretty good, but this year you're going to really put yourself out there because there's some unpredictable ones. And I think we should just get to some of these categories. Dave, why don't you start us off?
Actress in a supporting role. We have the nominees are Monica Barbaro, Ariana Grande. Loved her in what was the Disney show that she was in? Victorious? Was that the one? That was the one that my kids always did. Felicity Jones, Isabella Rossellini, Zoe Saldana, and I think that's it, isn't it?
Yep.
That's it. You got them. This one's kind of wrapped up. Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown. She was nominated for Joan Baez. She was sort of like a surprise nominee. And I loved her in the film, but she's not going to win. Felicity Jones isn't going to win either. She does not have much of a chance. Isabella Rossellini for Conclave was a really nice inclusion. This is her first nomination, considering how long a career she has had and how great she's been in so many different films, and foreign films, and in special. I know her from Blue Velvet. She's just a terrific actress. This is her first nomination, and I thought maybe she'd get a career award somewhere in all these award shows, but she hasn't. So I don't think she's going to win. Ariana Grande for Wicked. She was good, but I don't see a path for her. So this is really Zoe Saldana's movie. Year to Win for Emilia Perez. She was terrific in it. And she's the favorite. She's been winning everything else. And so I think Zoe Saldana's got it pretty much wrapped up.
Is she the one that's
not that she really needs the career boost? She's in everything.
Is she the one that's been tweeting racist stuff, or was that wasn't
she's
one of the
not
other,
the one? She's not the one who's been tweeting racist stuff.
Okay.
We can. I won't get into specifics about the specific stuff that's been spoken about, but that's in a different category by a different actress. But no, that's not Zoe Saldana. You got the right movie though.
Okay.
And if Zoe Saldana wins, I'm sure she's going to get a lot more projects. But of course, she's already in the Avatar franchise, the Star Trek franchise, the Guardian of the Galaxy Park.
She's doing pretty good.
She's doing pretty good for herself.
But she's not wearing blue paint in this one.
Sure.
So
she's not wearing blue paint or green paint.
Yeah.
But she's singing. And this is it's a good role for her, and I think she's going to win. I think she's got it wrapped up. Right. Zoe Saldana is my choice for Emilia Perez for supporting actress.
Okay. Let's.
And I think you could. I feel pretty confident about that one.
Bet the
mortgage.
All right.
Yes. All right. So the other one that you're confident in is the actor in a supporting role. The nominees are Yura Borisov.
No, you're a Borisov.
No, you're a Borisov. Kieran Culkin.
Guys, be nice to each other.
Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, and Jeremy Strong. Now, those are some great actors.
This is a really strong category, and this is sort of almost like an Emmys category with Kieran Culkin and Jeremy Strong going facing off against each other, because they were both in succession together.
Right.
Kieran Culkin doesn't even belong in this category because it's clearly a lead role.
Agreed.
It's like The Bear, for television keeps getting nominated in all the comedy categories, and that's clearly a drama. I feel the same way about this, and it kind of irritates me a little bit, but he's going to win.
Right.
The other four actors were terrific in their roles. Jeremy Strong was great as playing was Roy Cohn. Yeah, he played Roy Cohn in The Apprentice, and Yura Baryshnikov. If I'm blowing that, I apologize. For Honora, he was really good. Edward Norton played Pete Seeger. Guy Pearce was great. Everybody was terrific in this film. But it's Kieran Culkin's going to win. He's won everything else. This is an easy slam dunk.
And he's really the reason to even see that movie.
He is. It's a good film. It's sort of like almost like a travelogue of Poland. I've never been to Poland, and the movie I found is like you're almost watching a vacation of two people going on a trip through Poland, and when you're taking it vicariously through these two young stars who both of them have problems. and one of is a little bit more outspoken than the other. And I mean, it's an equal. Both him and Jesse Eisenberg are on equal footing. They've got equal screen time, and almost Kieran Culkin's got even more screen time. And he's the reason to see the film. It's a good movie. It's a good movie, and he'll win. He'll probably have a good snarky little speech too.
Him in Succession was just he was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, and he's basically playing Roman too.
Yes, he is.
He is. Just love that guy. Actress in a leading role. The nominees are Cynthia Erivo. Is that how you pronounce it? Carla Sofia Gascon, Mickey Madison, Demi Moore, and Fernanda Torres.
Yeah, this one's tough. For Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, she was outstanding, but I think she's not going to win. She'll get nominated again most likely next year because Wicked is a part one of a part two,
right?
And Wicked's probably going to get nominated again. If part two is as good as part one, Wicked's going to get nominated again next year, and Cynthia Erivo will probably get nominated as well, and she may ultimately, so she'll have another shot. I think that's kind of partly why she's not going to win. Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, I think she hurt herself by all the social media comments that she made.
Okay, so she's the racist.
She's the racist. She's the racist transgender actress that got herself into some hot water, and she offended a lot of people. She did apologize, but I think that hurt her chances of winning.
Yeah.
And then so that leaves the other three, and Fernanda Torres, Mikey Madison for Nora, and Demi Moore for The Substance. And this is tough because it can go in a lot of different directions. Demi Moore has been winning everything lately, and she is still the favorite, and I'm going to put her down as still my pick. But Fernanda Torres, she could still slide in because there's quite a Brazilian contingent in the Academy. The Academy's become considerably more foreign now, and a lot more diverse. That movie, I'm Still Here, resonated with a lot of different people, and they've got a strong voice. So, she already won. She won the Globe, which doesn't really mean a whole lot, but her name's out there, and so she could kind of slide in as an upset. And even a bigger upset could be Mikey Madison, who just won the BAFTA, and there's also a lot of British voters in the Academy, and so she could slide in as well, but I still think it's going to be Demi Moore, but it's not as much of a slam dunk as it used to be, and but Demi Moore winning would be I think a great story, which is the Academy likes that kind of stuff.
Yes, they do.
And she's had a long career. I mean, she started out on soaps, and then she was a John Hughes gal and a Brat Pack, and she's made a lot of good movies, a lot of bad movies. She's drugs and bad marriages. Her career has had a lot of ups and downs. And then she wasn't working for a while. Then she got some bad roles, and now she's. And then she got this weird movie, this weird body horror movie, and she put in a great performance. And she's won she's been winning a lot of stuff. She's had great speeches at everything. She's been on television giving these speeches to people who've seen her. I think she's going to win, but it's not the slam dunk as it used to be. And right now I feel about 60%, where before I thought maybe 80%. So, but I'm going to I still pick Demi Moore is going to win, and I think she'll have a great speech. She'll get a standing ovation. Whether she deserves it or not.
Well, and Eric Litt 60% for me. That's a put it in the bank.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
All right.
I like Demi Moore, so I mean, ever since she did About Last Night, I mean, that there you go. I'm a Demi Moore fan.
Yeah, me too. All right, actor in a leading role. Some names here that we've heard before, and some new ones. Adrian Brody is a nominee. Timothy Chalamet. Coleman Domingo, Ralph Fiennes, Sebastian Stan.
Isn't it Ray Fiennes? Is it Ralph Fiennes or Ray Fiennes?
Well,
it's actually it's spelled Ralph, but it's actually pronounced Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
stupid.
Yeah, well, I thought his name was Ralph, and he just went by Ray. But okay, all right, let's call him. Let's get it correct.
Yeah. You are a Borshkov.
I am.
All right. Well, Sebastian Stan, it's really between two people, but Sebastian Stan, he's going to keep getting these good roles, and for somebody who really just started out as Bucky Barnes from Captain America: First Avenger, I mean, he's been taking on some really interesting characters and controversial characters as well. I mean, he played Jeff Galooly in I, Tonya. He's played this guy. He played Donald Trump. He's been in a couple other weird films, and then he also was in Different Man, a Different Man, where he played this disfigured guy and who transformed himself to get roles. And it's an interesting movie if you haven't seen Different Man. He could have been nominated for that movie as well. And so he's going to get an Oscar someday for something else because he's a risk taker, but he's not going to win this year. Coleman Domingo, he's become an Academy favorite. He was nominated last year as well. But nobody has seen Sing Sing.
Right.
It's not playing anywhere. It's not streaming anywhere. So I don't really think that he's going to win either. He may win down the line again, but I don't think he's going to win. The very early favorite was Ray Fiennes for Conclave, but that Conclave came out all the way back. I believe it was, I want to say August. When did that movie come out? I can't remember.
At least 6 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out a while ago, and when it came out, I mean, everybody was saying, Ray Fiennes, this is finally your year. But the momentum has really cooled on that. And so I don't think Ray Fiennes is going to win either. So it's really between the two biggest contenders is Adrian Brody and Timothée Chalamet. And I think it's still going to be Adrian Brody. I think he's the safe pick. He's got it's a big role. He sports a big accent, even though his accent was a little, from what I understand, what I read, his accent was a little helped out by AI to get that strong Hungarian accent. I don't even know how you do that, but I think his accent, from what I understand, his accent was manipulated through AI and editing to get more authenticity to it. But it was still a great acting job, and he's a previous winner. It's a Holocaust role. It's an epic role. I think he is still your favorite. And also he's also been winning a bunch of stuff. He's won everything so far. But Chalamet, and it's a shame if Timothée Chalamet were to be the favorite to win. It's a shame. Adam Sandler wouldn't be presenting that award because then he'd say Chalamet, but it's going to be the Best Actress winner from last year. But Timothée Chalamet, I think, has the Leonardo DiCaprio effect going on right now. He's probably your best young actor working currently, and it took Leonardo DiCaprio about 6 nominations, maybe even 7 nominations before he finally won anything, even though he probably could have won like 3 or 4 times previous. I think Timothée Chalamet is sort of like, and this would be like your best comparison. I mean, he was also nominated for Call Me by Your Name, and he's been so good in other things.
But I just saw this movie yesterday. He is great in that film.
He was fantastic. I mean, based on the 5 here, he'd be my pick. Yeah. I thought Chalamet was brilliant, and if I was a voter, I would give it to Timothée Chalamet, and he could ultimately upset Adrian Brody, but he hasn't won anything yet, and so I don't see him winning. But if Adrian Brody does not win, I think it could be Timothée Chalamet, and he could. There's a path for him to upset the film because the movie itself, A Complete Unknown, is really gaining some momentum, and that's and I think he's got a shot to upset Adrian Brody. But if I was a betting man, and which is why you have me on the show, I would say put your money on Adrian Brody. But don't bet a lot, right? Again, I'm probably about 60-40. I feel about Adrian Brody, and if it's not Brody, it's going to be Chalamet. But I'm just going with Adrian Brody right now.
You know what other actor's voice was? The accent was enhanced by AI.
Who?
Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Hello, Governor.
Hey.
Well, there had to have been some explanation for that.
Best Picture.
And same thing with Kevin Costner and Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Some of the worst accents I've ever heard in my life.
The American Robin Hood.
Awful.
Well, Best Picture, and this is the, this is where we all. This is the last. Is this the last one that they give?
Yeah, I think so.
It better be. Yeah. I mean, it's not unless except for the COVID show in 2021. Yeah, where they did Best Actor last. They better do this last. Yeah. In general rule is yes, Best Picture is the last film.
We have Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez. How many are there? I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. What say you?
Okay, Dune and Nickel Boys are placeholders. They're not going to win. Nickel Boys, I have not seen Nickel Boys yet, but it's a placeholder. It's not going to win. Dune, that's not going to win either. It will win some smaller science awards, but it's not going to win this thing. I'm Still Here, I think, is going to be your foreign film, or international film, whatever they're calling it these days, winner. It's not going to win. Emilia Perez, I believe, was hurt by some controversy. So I think I like the movie a lot. It's a terrific film. But I also think 13 nods for Emilia Perez, I think it's a bit much. I think it's a little overpraised. It's a very good film. I recommend you seeing it, but it's not worth 13 nominations, and it doesn't deserve to win. But it is a very, very good movie. Then you have The Substance. I'm amazed at how well this film has resonated with voters in the industry. When I saw The Substance at the theater and it came out, I was like, I could barely. If I don't know if you guys have seen the film, but it's a body horror film, and it's well written. It's got a good message behind it. It's very well acted, and it's very well structured. But it is so gross, and it's got so much body manipulation and creaking and over the top.
Can I ask you a question? Because
gross.
I've heard that term, body horror.
What does that mean?
What is that? I've never
body
understood.
Horror body horror is a term. It's almost like a separate genre from horror, and it's used it's sort of a terminology where the film is focused on a lot of body mutations, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
Like, I don't remember if you've seen the film The Fly.
Yeah.
The 1986 version with Jeff Goldblum, a movie I love. That movie had a lot of that in there, especially when he was mutating into the fly. You've got parts falling off, and you got gross, the pus, and it's really kind of gross. Yeah. And you have the same thing with another movie I really like, 1982's version of The Thing, where you have a lot of body horror in that as well. You've got body parts mutating and becoming its own entity and splitting, and it's that can be really tough to watch sometimes based on its presentation. And The Substance just takes that and it takes it another step, in my opinion. And I have found myself looking away from the screen from a lot of it, especially when the first instances have it because it's basically you got Demi Moore's character splitting into two people.
Spoiler alert.
The other person becoming basically Demi Moore splitting the two people, and the other person is Margaret Qualley, and then they have to split back together again, and it's really disgusting, and it's done in such a way that it's a really turnoff, and I'm amazed how much it's resonated with the voters in the industry and how well it received it got.
So in the old days when there were just 5 movies, this one has no chance of being nominated, right?
No, when there was just 5 movies the old days, I don't see this film being in there.
It looks to me like you've already cut it down to 5. So we're at the 5 now.
Yes, and it is almost really 4. I mean, initially I thought Wicked had a really great shot, but that was early on. I mean, after I saw Wicked, I was just blown away by it. But I think it's hurt because it's a part 1. And I think kind of like the Lord of the Rings films, you know, when Fellowship of the Ring was nominated, which was an extraordinary film, but they're like, you know what, we know there's going to be 3 of them, let's just not give them anything now. And I think that's sort of like with Wicked. And so I don't see a path for a winning, at least not anymore. Complete Unknown. I think when you're thinking about a Complete Unknown, you think Bohemian Rhapsody when that movie came out a few years ago. Same type of thing, very well done, musical biopic, a lot of love. It's a perfectly entertaining, very well made film. It's gained, more people saw it, the more people liked it, became popular, a little bit more popular, gained a lot of steam towards when the Oscars started approaching. People are like, boy, we really like Bohemian Rhapsody. Maybe he has a lot of shot, a lot of good word of mouth. People really love the actor. So, but I don't think Complete Unknown is going to win Best Picture. But there's a path for it. Conclave originally was your best picture front runner after it come out, especially with word of mouth. But that momentum has completely waned. But it just won the BAFTA, so it could squeak back in. So you just don't know. But I think the two that are going to be fighting for the top prize is Anora and The Brutalist. And The Brutalist has got all the ingredients. It's a big film. It's an epic film. It's a long film. It's not necessarily a Holocaust film, but there's elements of the Holocaust in there. It's got your accents. It's got everything that you mix in there that the Academy seems to typically like. And I think it's won a bunch of stuff, but Anora just won the BAFTA, the DGA, and I'm sorry, it didn't win the BAFTA. It won the PGA, the Critics' Choice, and the DGA. And did it win the PGA? I think it won the PGA. But anyway, I know it won the Director's Choice Awards. When it starts winning the industry awards, that gives you a little bit more clear idea of how things are going to go. And Anora, which is a terrific, terrific movie. It's my favorite film of this past year. And I don't know if you've seen it. It's kind of hard to find. I mean, you could stream it on Amazon, but you have to pay for it. It's not available on physical media yet. It's not streaming for free, but it's a terrific film. It's got a great arc, especially of the main character. There's a lot of sex in it.
Oh, you should have led with that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's about a sex worker who has who gets into a relationship with an entitled Russian kid who's like a 19, 20-year-old kid. And then he kind of gives her a pretty woman type deal. The two get married. They go to Vegas. They get married, and then they come back. And then because of his family finds out about it. He's an entitled kid who's living off his his parents' money, and when the parents find out about what he did, they freak out, and so they come back to the States to try and get everything annulled, and then that's when all things go to hell. And it's really, really well done. It's a terrific arc, especially by the main actress, Mikey Madison. The film goes from sort of like a sex drama to a rom-com, to not a rom-com, but like a comedy, and then it ends with sort of like a tender, poignant seriousness to it. And it's really, really good. It's very well written. And it's finally beginning to get some award recognition. So because it won the Directors Guild and the Critics' Choice and some of these other industry awards, I think Anora is going to suddenly break out to be your front runner. So I'm going to pick Anora over The Brutalist and a squeaker. I feel about maybe 50%. I'm going to maybe 55% on this to go with the Nora.
All right.
So it's really could go either way, because The Brutalist is a film that the Academy would normally not give to, but the Academy is all different now. And so I'm going with the Nora. And if it wins, I'm going to be very happy, because that's my favorite movie from last year. So that's my pick.
All right. Well, everyone has now written down your choices, and they're going to enter pools.
Yes. Right.
And if they win, what do you think? I think Eric gets like 50% of the proceeds.
Well, it should be 55% because
but what if they lose? He's going to pay for all of it too,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
right.
So that seems fair, don't you think, Eric?
So what are these pools?
Yeah, sure.
I know we're going to let you go, but what are these pools? Are you just picking is this legal? These pools? Talk to me here. Is
my God.
What's going on here? Well, how
He's never heard of an Oscar pool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, how do I get into one of these?
Well,
you don't need to answer that.
They're perfectly legal, and usually they're not very lucrative, but
how much money you got into it right now?
It's just fun.
Yeah, tell me how much money. I'm going to be your wife right now. How much money have you spent on these pools?
Over the years? Well, I usually run the pool, so it's
okay.
So one of them is just like a simple bet with my buddy, which we've been doing for 30 years. And it's just, the winner, it's no money involved. It's just like the winner will take the other person to a movie of his choice. And so that's the bet I have with him. But then I typically run the office pool, and there's usually like maybe a dozen people involved in that. And I just charge them $55, so they're just not a whole lot. So it's like maybe, I don't know, between $50 and $75 a year as far as as far as the money you could win. And I spend $5 every year, and so I've been doing this for
and you're 107
30 years.
And,
I've been doing this since I started at WGN, so I've been there 32 years now.
Wow.
So 32 times 5. So you do the math, and that's still not a whole lot of money.
Well, and then we'll have to
we'll send it to our accountants, and we'll do a whole
good luck.
It's fun. It's a way of being engaged in the show. I mean, if you don't care about the show, at least you're paying attention to it. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. I mean, if you're not into the game, you can still watch the commercials and something. This is sort of like the same thing. If you're not into the show, you bet on all the categories. You can still pay attention.
All right. Well, have fun on your special day.
Yes, and if anybody wants to read Eric's books, they're excellent. One is called Oscar's Biggest Mistakes,
and Worth a Second Look, both on Eckhartz Press, ECKHARTZpress.com.
I'm glad you spelled it.
Thanks for being on the show, Eric.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure to come on and talk to you guys, and we will talk again soon.
Well, God willing, next year too, buddy.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Bye-bye.
There he goes. Eric Litt. He's got a new blazer. He's hanging out in the Five-Timer Lounge.
I don't think the only movie I think I've seen was Conclave.
Yeah, and I've seen about 4 or 5 of them. But I actually, this week, knowing we'd have Eric on, watched a couple of them just so that, at least I knew a little bit.
You liked Wicked, didn't you?
No, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I mean, we looked at the list, and Bridget's like, how about Wicked? She's seen it on stage, and it was like,
yeah.
I mean, it's a girl movie, let's be honest. But although Eric liked it too, so you never know. All right, well, we have people to thank in addition to Eric, who comes on every year to help us with the Oscars. We need to thank Tony Lasano, the executive producer of the show. Thanks, Tony. Couldn't do it without you.
Ed Silla,
the distributor with the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Great Talk Radio's not dead. It just moved to a better place, radiomisfits.com. And we'll be back again soon with a new episode of
Minutia Men Celebrity Interview.
The proceeding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at radiomisfits.com. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?